Hello dear participants, I welcome you all in this lecture number 9. Title of this lecture is Basic Functions in SPSS and MS Excel. In the previous lectures, already we have seen the basic structure of MS Excel and SPSS. We have seen how can we enter data in these two. We have already seen that what is data coding, what is data cleaning. We have seen data view, variable view in SPSS. So the introductory part already we have seen, and I hope that you all are now familiar with the basic structure of SPSS and MS Excel. Now we are going for some of the basic functions here in this lecture, and the objective of this lecture is to make you comfortable with these softwares. Fine. Actual descriptive statistical or the inferential statistical part that will be starting from the next lecture. This lecture will be using only basic functions to make you comfortable with MS Excel and SPSS. Now let me take you to the further slide. Which functions that will perform here? First we'll start with the SPSS, because the previous lecture that we ended with the SPSS. So first we'll perform go to function in SPSS, then we'll see that how can we insert cases or insert variable. Then we'll go for the how can we check variable information using SPSS. Then we'll perform sort ascending and descending function. Then we'll shift to the MS Excel, and in MS Excel we'll perform a function count, that is one of the very useful function. Then we'll perform less than, greater than and between function, and then finally we'll perform above average and below average. Fine. Now let me start with the first function in SPSS, that is go to function, and for that I will open my SPSS, and this is the SPSS sheet which we used in the previous lecture also. So I have opened my SPSS where already the data is been fed. Fine. Now the first thing that we should do is we should go here in the variable view and we should check whether everything is fine in the data. For that I'll click here on the variable view. As I click on the variable view, here is a new window, and here I should check that whether my all variables are proper, whether have I assigned codes. Yes, it is there. Whether my gender is nominal. Yes, it is been given here. Then the codes for satisfaction been also allocated, and we have selected this as an ordinal. So everything is fine in the variable view. Once everything is fine here, then again I'll click here on the data view. Now in the data view, if I go here on the top and if I click on the value label, then what will happen? If I click here, you can see that your numbers, they get transferred into the alphabetical responses. Now again if I press on this, they again get converted into coded language, that is numbers. Fine. So this is the way we can check the coded numbers or the actual responses here on clicking on this thing. Fine, this icon. Now let me take you to the go to cases. How can we use that function? Simply you will have to go to this menu bar, and in this menu bar you will have to simply click on edit. Once I click on edit, here you will find go to case. What is go to case? If you are having plenty of data, if you are having, suppose say that 400 respondents, fine, and there are suppose around 200 variables, fine. So variables are 200 and they are here enlisted here. Fine, these are the variables, they are enlisted 200 variables, and here are the respondents, they are 400 respondents. Now if I want to go to specific variable out of this 200, how to go directly? Or if I want to go to a specific respondent say that 322, the respondent number 322, how to go directly? So here the go to case, it help us out. How it works, let's see. So simply I'll click on go to case. As I click on go to case, a new pop-up window comes, and here are two options. One is case, other is variable. Now if I click on case first, then I'll put one number here. Suppose if I put 48, and then this go button get activated, then I'll click on go. Your SPSS will take you to that respondent, 48th respondent with all the associated values. How it works? Let's see. Now suppose if I type 48 and then I'll click on go, then you can see that my SPSS have taken me here 48th case, and here are the responses for that 48th. Now if I click on variable, and as I click on variable, all the variables get enlisted here. Now this is very sample data set, so we have considered we have already taken three variables, so that all three variable names are enlisted here. If you are having plenty of variables, say that 200 variables, then all those variables get enlisted here. You can choose any one, and if you click here on go, it will take you to that particular variable. Fine. Now here, if I click on age, then, and if I click on go, then it will take me to the age column, age variable. Fine. So this is the way that go to case works. Now let me explain you that how to insert cases or how to insert variable. Cases means the respondents. Now for that, suppose I want to insert one respondent which I missed during the data entry. Then what I'll do? Then I'll go here. If I want to insert one case below this 5, if I want to insert a case between this 5 and 6, here in between this, then what should I do? For that, I'll just click on 6, then I'll right click using my mouse, then here the option appears insert cases. I'll simply click on this. As I click on this, a new empty row appears, and that previous sixth respondent, it gets shifted to down, means the previous 6 now shifted here, and new respondent or the new row been generated here. Now I can add my information, I can add the responses from that particular respondent, and here I have added the case. Fine. So this is the way that we can insert case. Now how can I insert variable? Variables are here. What means columns, vertical lines. Now here, suppose if I want to add one variable in between these two, satisfaction and age, I just want one new variable here in between these two. For that, what I'll do, I'll simply go here on the age, right click, and here is insert variable. So I'll click on insert variable. As I click on insert variable, a new variable been generated here, and by default the name is been given by SPSS, that is VAR00001. Fine. Now to define this variable, what should I do? Where we define the variables? We define variables here. So we have generated variable in data view. Then I'll go to variable view, and for that I'll click here on the variable view. As I click on variable view, you can see that the generated variable automatically it appears here. Now here I'll go and I'll define that variable, and here I have defined it family members. You can see that there is no space. We should not give any space, and this part already we have discussed. These are simple names. There should not be any space in between, and here is the complete name like members in family, that you can write. Fine. And this is the scale data. Fine. Codes are not there. Codes are not applicable for this variable, because I'm going to get the responses like how many members are there, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm not giving any code here. Fine. Now let me go back here to data view. I'll click on the data view and I'll find that yes, that family member means that thing is there, that variable is there. This data I have entered later. Fine. This data I have entered later. Only the variable get generated, then you will have to mention all the responses manually. Fine. So this is the way we add variable in SPSS. Fine. Then let me take you to the further function, that is variable information. Now whatever variables that I have used, I have I'm utilizing in here in SPSS. Now if I want to see that altogether where are my variables and how many variables that I'm using here in SPSS, for that go to any column and on the top just right click. As I right click, there are some options and here is the variable information. Simply click on this, you will get a pop-up window and here are the variables. All the variables are enlisted here. All the variables are enlisted here. Now this is a very small data set. If you are working with a huge data set, all the variables will get enlisted here. Now if you want to know about any variable, just click on this, all the details will appear here. All the details will appear. For example, gender of respondent, if I click on this, all the details they appears here and all the codes that I'm using, it appears here. Now if I go and click on say that satisfaction level, again all the information appears here. If I click on age of respondent, all the information. Now for the age of respondent, codes are not there, so this information will not appear there. Fine. So this is the way that we can check variable information. Now let me take you to the further thing, that is sort ascending and descending in SPSS. How to sort ascending and descending? For that, simply right click on the this variable, say that is satisfaction. Then after the right click, there are different menus. Now here I'll simply click on sort ascending. As I click on sort ascending, you can see that from lowest to largest it has been sorted. Fine. Now for descending, again if I go to age, right click, just click on sort descending, I'll get all the values in descending order. So this is the way we work with ascending and descending things in SPSS. Now let me shift to MS Excel. Now the SPSS part is over. The objective of this lecture was to just make you comfortable with how to work with SPSS. So we have just seen the basic functions. We have seen just the basic functions. Now we'll perform some basic functions here in MS Excel too. Then we'll start with the count function. How does count function that we can perform in MS Excel? Let's see. So here is a sample data set. Again, this sample data set will be shared with you for the practice purpose. Fine. Simply you will have to go here at the down, and here you will have to type formula. How to type formula? First equal to sign and then start typing COUNT. As you are started typing, all the formulas associated with this COUNT appears here. Now here is a count formula, and if you observe carefully, whenever you are moving your cursor to that particular thing in MS Excel, the details, means what actually that function performs, appears here. So count the number of cells in a range that contains number. Now here is very interesting thing. Count is only applicable for the numeric data. It will not count the word data. But here, to understand that in a better way, I am purposely performing count formula here on the this gender data, which is in the words, which is there in the using the alphabet. So count, then I'll click on this, then I will have to select this data, then I'll close the bracket and then I'll press enter. As I press enter, you can see that my this result is 0. What does that mean? Result is 0 means there is 0 numeric value here in this, and yes, there is not a single number here. All data is alphabetic, that is why it is 0. Now here on the right hand side you can see that the count function never works on the alphabetical data. For alphabetical data we can use count A. Actually count A is applicable to all type of data, means numeric or alphabetical, all the things it can measure. Now how? Let's see. To understand this, again I'll go here and I'll equal to sign and count I'm typing, and here I'll find that yes, count A is available. I'll double click on this, then I'll select the range, that is B2 to B23, What is B2? B2 means B column second row, and here is my first response. And what is the last thing? That is B23. This B23 and this B2, right? B23 means this B column and 23rd response. So I have selected this data. When I have selected this data, it appears here count A in bracket B2 colon B23. Now I will press enter. As I press enter, you can see that the total number of the respondent appears here 22. Fine. And here is 0. Why? Because count is actually associated with the numbers. Now if I want to know, or if I want to perform these two formulas on all these variables, gender, education, everything, then what I'll do, I'll click on this cell, I'll go to this corner and I'll drag it to the end. As I drag it to the end, automatic these formula, these functions will get performed on these data, those respective data sets. Fine. How it works, let's see. Now I'll go here first, then I'll go to the corner and I'll just drag it to the end, and all the numbers are here. Again for the count A, I'll go to corner and I'll just drag it to the end, and all the number appears. Now what about the interpretation? What about the meaning? How to give meaning? So for this variable gender is concerned, there is 0 number, but there are 22 responses in count A. So 22, what does it means? What is the result? Result is just showing you the n is a number of observation, this terminology that we use in the statistics. Fine. So here are again 0 because this is alphabetical data, but here are 22, right? Here is 21, 22. That way that we perform the count function or count formula. Same way there are other functions also which are very useful in count. This count is a major function, but there are some associated functions also like count A, count blank. Why we use count blank? You can see that here is the explanation. Count, it counts the number of empty cells in specified range of the cell. And count if, again that one is also very interesting. So let me take you all to MS Excel for live demonstration. See, we'll be going two ways. First, I'll explain you using my presentation, and the same thing I'll explain you using a live demonstration on MS Excel. So here is a MS Excel sheet. Here is a sample spreadsheet. Same sample spreadsheet will be shared with you for the practice purpose. Here is a count, right? And here is the data. Now simply I'll click here. I'll press equal to sign, then I'll start typing my formula. As I start typing my formula, all the functions appear here. Now I'm interested in count, so I'll double click here. As I double click, bracket comes, then I'll have to select this data. So I have just selected this data. I'll close the bracket and then I'll press enter. As I press enter, 0 appears. Now I'll go here and I'll just go to corner to this part and just I'll drag it to the end. Now all the results are here. Now what about count A? Again equal to sign, count, and here is the count A. I'll select this, double clicking, then I'll select the data, then I'll close the bracket, I'll press enter, count A is there, result for count A is there. Fine. Then what about count blank? Again equal to sign, count blank is already here, so you will have to double click, then bracket comes, just select the data, close the bracket, insert or enter, press the enter, you got the count blank. What does that mean? 0 means there is no blank cell, 0 blank cells are there. Now I'll go here and I'll just drag it to the end. As I drag it to the end, all the blank cells for the respective variables appears. For example, here in the monthly income there are 2 blank cells. Which 2 blank cells are there? Sorry, let me, okay, I'm using different softwares, right? So that sometimes it appears fuzzy. Fine, let me go back now. Okay, come, fine. So 2 So here is the first and here is the other cell, which is blank cell. Here is one, only this cell is blank. So that is the way we should interpret, we should give meaning to these numbers. Fine. Now what is count if? Count if is very interesting and it only performs on the numeric data. Fine. Scale data. Now here I'll use the count if, and for that let me increase this thing. Now how to use count if? Equal to sign. See, count if, where it is here. I'll double click, I'll select the range, then I'll give comma. I'm giving comma, then inverted commas I'll press, and then I'll say that if I give that less than sign, and then I'll use one number 30 suppose, and then again I'll close the inverted comma and I'll close the bracket. What I did, equal to sign, count if, in bracket I have selected the data, then I have given comma, then in inverted comma I am means asking to identify or asking to tell me the numbers which are less than 30 out of this age, correct? And then I'll simply press enter. As I press an enter, you can see that there are seven cases who are having what, less than, whether it was less than or greater than. Let me check. It was, yes, less than 30. Fine. So it was a less than 30. So there are 30 cases which are having less than 30 age. So this is case 1, this is case 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. There are 7 cases, and those 7 cases are having less than 30 age. Fine. So this is the way that count if works. I hope you understood this. All they are the basic functions. Fine. So we have demonstrated the count function. Now let me take you back to the presentation. Now here we are. Now we'll perform less than, greater than, and between. How to perform? Again the same data set. Simply select the variable. Suppose I just want to work on the one variable, that is age. Then I'll have to go to home, and in the home I'll have to go to conditional formatting. In conditional formatting I'll go to highlight cells rule, and here in this I'll go to greater than. Now as I press on greater than, new pop-up window appears and it asks me that which number that actually want to compare with, means format cells that are greater than 35. Now I have put the number 35. Here is the thing, that is a formatting thing. It will only give you the color options. So I'll go with the light red fill with the dark red text. I'll just press on OK. As I press on OK, that the numbers greater than 35 are highlighted. The same procedure for less than and between. How it works? Let's see using live demonstration using MS Excel. So I'll take you all to this sample spreadsheet. Now here is age. I'll first select the age, then I'll go to home. In home I'll go to conditional formatting. In conditional formatting I'll go to highlight cells rule, and in this I'll go to greater than. If I'll go to greater than, and if I put a number 35, here are the options for different colors. Suppose I choose green fill with dark green text, say that. You can see that here are the green cells highlighted. Fine. Now if I want to check between, how to do that? Again I'll go to home. First I have selected data, then go to home, then conditional formatting, highlight cells rule, and then between. Now in between, suppose say that I type here 25 to 35, correct? And I'll give the different color, say that yellow fill. Fine. So these all the colors are between these. Now for some difference, let me revise this part. Conditional formatting, I'll go to highlight cells, and then in between, and suppose if I made it like 25 to say that 30 only. Fine. And I'll go further. So these are the numbers. So previous formatting has not vanished. So this is the way that we go with the greater than, less than, or in between things. Fine. Now let me clear all this, and for that I'll go to clear rule and I'll clear rule for the entire sheet. Fine. Now let me take you all back to the presentation. So this is the last part. Now we'll go with the above average or below average. How to perform this? Simply I have selected monthly income. Again I'll go to conditional formatting, and in the conditional formatting I'll go to top bottom rules, and here I'll click on the above average. As I click on above average, automatically the there is really no need to compute average. There is really no need to compute arithmetic mean. That MS Excel himself computes the mean, and it will highlight us that which numbers are greater than that mean. Fine. So I'll have to simply click on OK, and the same procedure for the below average. The same thing that will perform here using MS Excel. So let me demonstrate it here. So I'll just select this monthly income, and I'll go here in home, conditional formatting, top bottom rule, and above average. As I click here, only the one option appears, that what type of color that you are actually willing to. I'll keep the default thing, that is light red fill with dark red text. I'll click on OK. You can see that these are the numbers which are greater than the average number. We haven't computed average thing, but MS Excel himself computed average and highlighting us the numbers who are greater than the average. Fine. Now let me take you all back to the presentation, and this was the last slide actually. I hope you all have understood this lecture, and the objective of this lecture was to just make you comfortable with the use of SPSS and MS Excel. I hope you all have enjoyed this lecture. I'll request you all that I'm sharing you sample files. Please perform all these functions in SPSS and in MS Excel, so that you will be ready and you will be familiar with all these software things. And in the next lecture, we'll be starting with descriptive statistics. Till then, thank you for your time, and thank you for your kind listening. Thank you.